I'm Nancy, and this is my story. I grew up with a single mom, and in our household there was not much religion. As I grew up and my mom got sick later in life, she grew closer to God, and we lived actually right across the street from a church. She always encouraged us to go, but she never forced us to go. I liked that she didn't force me, but also probably should have given me a little more encouragement to go. So I pretty much grew up with no relationship with God at all. As time went on, after my mom ended up passing away, I did witness my mother get closer to God as she got sick. And I felt like that's when she needed God the most. It probably made me look in His direction more, but it still didn't encourage me to pursue any type of relationship with Him. When I finally did start to feel more spiritual and wanting a relationship with God is when I lost my son. And honestly, I still believe this. I feel closer to him if I'm closer to God. And that's what has really brought me to the church. Something else happened after I lost my son. I lost my connection with people. I just started to become very alone and inwardly. And I feel like when I come to church, especially this church, I feel like a new person. I walk into the door and I just feel immediately at home. I feel honest, I feel open, and I don't feel like I'm alone anymore, as I did for many, many years. I've always felt like I was a good person, but I don't think that I really looked at other people's feelings, or even though I felt like I was a good person, not doing wrong, I don't think I looked at other people's feelings and how I made them feel. And I feel like I've learned to be more open to what other people are feeling. I want to be a better person. Even though I felt I was a good one, I want to be an even better one. I want to be a better version of me. And I think that it's helping me to become something so much more. Something I learned from coming to church that I felt that I could offer is myself to other people and like who I was offering. And that I could maybe help somebody out along the way. Maybe they'll hear my story about losing my own son and learning how to live life again. The biggest thing I learned here was learning to forgive myself for going on with my life. But if I was going to go on with my life, I was going to do it in a better light and with Jesus by my side. I pray more, I love more, I'm a better friend. There's so many reasons that I love finding Jesus in my life. So my son was a 29-year-old young man that grew into an incredible human being, and he was going after his dreams, and he became a pro wrestler. He had a heart attack in the ring. He was pretty fantastic. He was going after his dreams. My son was going after something he really loved to do, and he sadly passed away doing it. But he was really happy. There was a sermon in church about our purpose. As I was listening to the sermon, I started to think about, well, what's my purpose? Why am I here? Why isn't my amazing, handsome son not here? And even though I can't get him back, I know that I must have some purpose for being here. And with Jesus in my life, I'm going to find out exactly what that is. This is before I was born even. My mom went through quite a life. She was actually shot. The year before I was born, the bullet ricocheted like 5 different places in her stomach. Every time I talk to her best friend calls me the miracle baby. How could I possibly have been born after my mom was shot? How could it have not hit all those vital organs? And that's another reason I believe there has to be a purpose for me, because if I was conceived through that, then I survived my own child being gone. How could I not have a purpose here? So coming to church and finding Jesus is definitely helping me find my purpose. I was pretty mad at Jesus, probably till I walked in that door, because how could you take my son? How did he hand me a son and then take him 29 years later on Mother's Day? What I would say to somebody that lost a child or someone that they love so dearly is that you can stay living closed up and sad, or you can try to turn your heart to the person I feel loves me the most, and that is Jesus. I'm Nancy, and this is my story.